quantize, to shift each bit in a rhythmic pattern to the nearest bit of a given resolution. Confusion, loss of orientation sometimes accompanied by disordered consciousness. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the quantized confusion.
Why do dudes? What is bad sex for a dude, and why do they not sometimes understand why bad sex is bad sex?
Okay, let me say
I'm
this.
not gonna say all dudes. I'm just saying, as an example.
So this is what I've learned. Like just recently, up until maybe 5-10 years ago, bad sex has always been attributed to men. Like we all, if the sex is bad, it's the man's fault, right? So now there's been a kickback where men are blaming women for bad sex too. That's the new thing that I've noticed on the internet. Before coming up, it was always the man. If the sex was whack, it was the man's fault. So now they start fighting back, which I don't blame them. And they're saying that it could be both ways, which I agree with. It can be both ways. But to me, I'm not gonna say there is not no bad sex. But bad sex, I love this topic, it's just funny. But bad sex to me, simply that two people are not motherfucking compatible.
This is true.
Simple as a motherfucker. Everybody don't fit. Every puzzle piece don't fucking fit. Everybody don't have the same what's the name for it? It's not endorphins. What's some hormones and shit that you elude when you horny and shit. So everybody's not compatible. So that's what I think bad sex is when two people are not in sync spiritually, physically, emotionally. That's bad sex. And yeah. That's all I got to say.
That sex has become much more, and I'm not gonna say just with the younger society. But since people are just out trying to get sex,
right,
with whoever and whomever they can get it with, I think it's just more or less that it's become more of a wham bam, thank you, man or woman.
It's a performance act.
Right, and nobody's putting the effort into it nowadays. People are just trying to get it and say that they got it and then move on, and they're not really putting the effort into. Sex versus quote unquote making love, two different acts, right?
Right. Intimacy is what, like for me personally, like I've had, obviously, I'm not a virgin. I've had good sex. I know y'all surprised, but I've had good sex and I've had horrible sex. So horrible sex for me. Oh God, let's talk about our most horrible experience because that shit's funny. My worst experience was a man who dick would not stay fucking hard. And that is the most frustrating shit on earth. A smushy dick is gross. And so, like, he's trying to smush this motherfucker in and shit. Trying to smush it in. He's like, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, you make me so nervous that he couldn't get his dick hard, keep his dick hard. That's what he told me. That was my worst sexual experience. And then plus, okay, let's be honest. Condoms make sex harder for guys. Because men have described that to me, like feeling suffocated, like somebody putting a mask over your face. And so they say they feel suffocated. And so when they have the condom on, which is not optional with TY. So when they have the condom on, it makes it harder for them to stay, erect. And I've noticed that with past partners, like when they don't, when we get to that point where we don't have to engage in that is much more better, much better, whatever, much more better. That's two double negatives, fucked up English. But anyway, this is what Evan Williams would do with a motherfucker. But anyway, yes, it makes it harder for them to maintain that erection. But yeah, that's bad sex. Bad sex is when you apologizing for how bad your sex is. That is bad sex. Please, whatever you know, fucking apologize. Just act like you don't notice. And I will too.
Bad sex is when you have an expectation and then it's not met. You understand what I mean? Like you have an expectation. You've been with somebody for y'all been dating or whatever, and then when it comes down to the sex, is much less than what you thought it was going to be because you made it up in your mind to be this wonderful thing.
But don't you think
when y'all are finally together, it's like, what? Now, my worst experience, hands down, was this guy who thought he was having sex with me and was just having sex with my thigh. I kid you not.
He thought he was having sex with you.
Really thought we was having sex, and we wasn't having sex at all.
Wow, I've heard about that, but I've never experienced it. You are the most valuable.
I can't even explain. I don't even know why he thought that we were. Like,
What's
I'm
the
like,
dick?
what you think?
Was the dick that little though, for real, that he couldn't tell he was in there?
Apparently, that was the one and only. I never tried to figure it out. I never tried to hook up with him again.
I was about to say, did you give him a second chance?
I never went out with him again. And he, can I come and see? Nope. This one was different because this guy, I was dating him for a couple of months or whatever, and he was a true sweetheart, really, really good hat, and really, really fine, like muscle, Marine, just got out type deal. Real sweetheart. First time we slept together, I was confused because I put the condom on myself, right? So I know that it was something there.
Right, that's what
I put it there.
he got a dick.
I knew that it was there. But
Right.
when we went to go have sex, it was like, I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what happened.
It retracted back up in there.
Something.
It was Charles doing the back moonwalk backwards.
Yeah. And then he came back to my house. He showed up uninvited up there, which was rule number 1. That's your first problem. He run the buzzer. He like, it's Kiana. Hey, I'm downstairs. I just wanted to come and talk to you. I said, well, I'm busy right now. I talked to him through the buzzer. I'm like, because you showed up and then sex was horrible. I tried it with him twice because I wasn't sure the first time. I'm like, maybe something happened, but yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, sex is not normally really good the first time with a person. But when it's bad, like when it's horrible, like when the nigga didn't even make it into the VJJ, then it's gonna continue to be bad. But yeah, like it's never. I don't think.
Horrible.
That sounds good.
Yeah, the first guy was just talking about like we were drinking, but I was like, he couldn't have been that drunk. That was terrible.
Now, what is a man's definition of bad sex? Because honestly, like, I know.
I said, I've been told by one guy that there's no such thing as bad sex. He told me that if it's wet, it's good. That's it.
He don't have very high expectations. Like nowadays, these dudes be thinking first of all, look, I like to go on TY about this. First of all, nowadays, guys have higher, I think, expectations because they keep talking. That's what the conversation started off. They keep talking about women that have bad sex. And like your homeboy said, usually if it's wet, it's good sex. But now it's like, if you just lay there, if you don't make no noise. First of all, I am not a ventriloquist. I am not going to fucking make noise unless, motherfucker, you making some shit that make me make noise. So if a bitch is silent.
But I just want to say, why did you just get so serious, really? You got all up in the camera.
Shut up, Kiana, calling me out on that shit. Don't be calling me out on my bullshit, damn it. God damn it. It ain't like I'm speaking to somebody directly. But like I said, motherfucker, if you didn't make me make noise.
With the side eye, too. With the side eye. Okay, go ahead.
No, but seriously, like, I'm not a fucking performer.
Right.
You know, except for when Evan Williams is in the house. So then I perform. But like, women who make noises, or not gonna say make noises, women that do all the extra screaming and hollering and talking, most of that shit is fake.
Yes.
When you are really in the motherfucking zone,
yes, you
don't make all the noises. Because first of all, I'm concentrating on my shit. And I don't need to make all those noises to distract me. So, and this conversation is getting weird. But anyway, I just realized that as I said it, like how weird. But yeah, what was the question again? How do we start?
Yes. No, I was going to say that most of the time, oh damn, what was the question? Now I forgot.
I love when she catch up and be drunk with me and be late, but it's always on time.
I had this one girl tell me that her husband was saying that she moved too much. And that's why he didn't like having sex with her. And I was like, her exact words were, he said I'd be moving around like a fish.
What is bad sex, guys? What is bad sex for y'all with a woman?
Yes, so that's the question.
Oh my
What
God.
is bad sex for a man?
Right.
Like, what makes sex bad for a man? Because obviously, for old dude that was doing it to my thigh, that wasn't it.
A dry ass thigh was not making bad sex.
He was perfectly fine, perfectly happy with that.
On the beat.